I made a profit of $800 last week alone just selling new and used clothing online in my spare time. So if you want to learn how I did that, what kinds of brands were selling for me, on what platforms, and even what strategies I used, then keep watching.
Won't nobody love you the way they should. Won't nobody check up on you, make sure you're good. Won't nobody check those body tremors for your neck.
Hi everyone, my name is Becky Park and I am a full-time high school choir teacher who likes to resell on the side, which means that I find clothing, whether it's stuff that we're just not wearing anymore in our house, or I find stuff at thrift stores and consignment stores, and I buy them for as cheap as I can and I sell them for profit on platforms such as Poshmark, eBay, Mercari, thredUP, and Kidizen. And in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you what items sold for me last week. If you watched this video right here that I made a few weeks ago, I talked about how one of the goals that I made for myself was to make a profit of at least $800 or more in 1 week by the time 2020 was over. And I'm so excited to announce that I did that this week. We're going to be talking about what sold for me last week to get me up to that number. So if you enjoy reselling content like this, such as what sold videos, or even thrift hauls or tips and tricks videos on how to make more money as a reseller, especially from the perspective of someone who is doing this part-time, because like I said, I do have a full-time job, I am married with 2 kids, and you know that takes up a good amount of my time as well, then definitely make sure that you hit that subscribe button and also hit that notification bell so that when I put out new content on YouTube, YouTube knows to let you know. Otherwise, you may not see a couple of the videos that I post here and there. So that being said, if you're excited to see what sold for me, hit that like button and let's get right into it. So I'll be honest with you, when the week started, I was kind of like, okay, this is not going to be a very good week because it started pretty slow. And I think part of that is because the first day of the week was Monday the 30th, and that was Cyber Monday. So I think a lot of people were shopping online and they were buying from, you know, a lot of retail stores and just taking advantage of the great deals that were out there. And I wasn't running any sort of sale in my Poshmark closet or eBay store. And so I definitely attribute that to part of the reason why Monday was pretty stinky. I had 2 Poshmark sales. The first one was this Hannah Anderson black velvet ruffle trim skirt in a size 3 toddler. It sold for $12 on Poshmark using my closet clear out method. And if you haven't watched this video yet where I talk about how I use a specific method on closet clear out days to save time but still participate in closet clear out, I would definitely recommend checking out that video. And because of that method, I made $9.05 on that skirt. And that has been listed for quite some time. I believe I had to relist it, and even after being relisted, it did take a few months for it to sell. The next thing to sell was by the brand On the Bias, which I believe is sold at Pacific Sunwear. This was a shirt with a graphic of a woman swimming. At first I thought it was a mermaid, but then I realized she didn't have like the fins, so just a regular swimmer in the water. It was a long sleeve t-shirt in a size large, and this I let go of for $8, and so I made a profit of $5.05. It was listed for 46 days, and I let it go for that amount for 2 reasons. One, I got it at a consignment store that I shopped at when, you know, shelter in place was coming to an end in our state. And what they did was they allowed me to shop in their storage unit by myself, and I basically would just fill these big black garbage bags, and they charged me $50 per bag. So my average cost of goods for clothing items came out to less than $1. And also, once I got it home and was photographing it, I realized that there were a lot more flaws on it than I knew when I was originally sourcing at the moment. When I was in the storage unit, I was just shoving stuff in the bags. Like, I wasn't paying too much time and attention to look over every item carefully, because at that moment, like, really what mattered was getting through everything as quickly as possible, because there was so much stuff in this storage unit. Like, it was insane. So when I was photographing it, I noticed kind of a weird flaw along the hem. Like, it looked like it had been folded and even ironed over. I don't know. It was just kind of weird. So there were weird, like, kind of almost bleach-like looking spots all over the shirt. So when I got the $8 offer, I believe I had it listed for like $15. I just went ahead and accepted because I wanted to get rid of it, knowing that it had some flaws and I didn't want it to sit and sit and sit. So that was it on Monday. Like I said, not very exciting, and I thought it was kind of like a foreshadowing of what was to come for the remainder of the week, so I was not super excited or motivated, but it did get better pretty quickly. So moving on to December 1st, which was a Tuesday, I had no Poshmark sales, but over on eBay I had a sale, and it was this pair of Minnetonka gray suede sheepskin wool blend mid-calf boots in a size 6. These I had picked up really recently, only like a week week ago at a local Goodwill. I had picked them up for $6. They sold for $20, which is kind of on the lower end of comps, but it is kind of, around the going rate for these kinds of boots by this brand. So I just went ahead and let go of them for that price. They paid for shipping. It was promoted at 1%, so I made $16.92 off of those boots, which I think is still pretty good. I mean, especially given the fact that they sold really fast. It was a good pickup in the sense that it was very seasonal. This is what people are looking for right now, and I think that's why they sold as quickly as they did. The next thing to sell was over on Mercari, and I only had 2 Mercari sales this week, and they were pitiful. So, I feel like in November and October, I was having some really great weeks on Mercari. Mercari has kind of come to a standstill for me, although I had a really good full price sale over on Mercari today. That being said, the first thing to sell over on Mercari was this Forever 21 pastel ombre cropped hoodie. It sold for $12. I paid for shipping, which was $4.25. So I made $5.90 off of that, which is fine because I got it for free from a friend at church. I believe it's something that her daughter wore and she grew out of it. So I went ahead and listed it, made $5.90. That paid for like half of our last McDonald's trip because the last time that we went to McDonald's, we kind of went ham. It's profit. It helps pay for fun things like McDonald's, and we're good to go. The next thing to sell was even more pitiful. It was this Exhilaration pink star print denim skirt for size 5T, which is 5 toddler. This I believe my daughter actually wore a couple times. I don't know where we got it. I do think someone gave it to us for free, but it sold for $9. I paid $3.92 to ship it out, so I made a whopping profit of $3.62. So really, if you put both of those profits together, $5.90 and $3.62 from my Mercari sales, which came out to $9.52, that basically paid for our last McDonald's outing. So I'm gonna call that a win. Like that works for me. And then I had one thredUP sale this week. Again, just a pitiful sale. But this came to me from the same friend that gave me that Forever 21 hoodie, and it was this pair of Italian shoemakers, silver slip-on, kind of like wedges, like strappy sandal wedges. They sold for $21.99 on thredUP, and so I made a profit of $3.52, which again, it was free because it was given to me for free by a friend, which again, I'm not going to turn my nose up at because it's profit. You know what I mean? Like I didn't pay anything for it. I didn't source it. I just got it for free from a friend. And there was a lot of stuff that she gave me that I decided I would just send into thredUP rather than listing myself, just because I wanted to see how those brands did. I think Italian Shoemakers is just a brand that you can pick up at like DSW or places like that. Like at first I thought maybe it was really good because they were made in Italy, apparently. I don't know. But they're not very good. So I don't suggest picking this brand up if you're out thrifting. Even, it's selling for $21.99 on thredUP. I was pretty surprised with, but just something that I thought I would try since I got it for free. And that is kind of basically how I'm going to be using thredUP from here on out, is just sending them stale inventory or sending them stuff that I get for free that I don't feel like listing myself, because they have gone through some changes with their payout structure and stuff. And so I think it's still worth it if I utilize them in that way and maybe not even pay to get items shipped back to me that they don't accept. But yeah, I'm still kind of playing around with it. I have a lot of boxes waiting there to be processed. And as I learn more from, experimenting in different ways, I will keep you posted. So we're going to move on to Wednesday, which was December 2nd, and this was a much better day of sales over on Poshmark. The first thing to sell was this pair of vintage Coogee embroidered gray jeans. They were baggy. They had like really interesting back pockets that you can see in the pictures. They were in a size 38, and they sold for my full asking price of $38. Now, that was after being relisted, after they had been listed for like over a year, I think, and they took a few months even after being relisted to sell, but I was really excited that they did sell for $38, and so I made $30.40. I got those at the Indianapolis bins, I think like maybe not the last time I went, but like the time before that. And when I went that time, I actually got to meet Hope from Rags to Riches. I'll link her channel down below in the description. She is so much fun. And I remember like when we were going to the bins that day, I was in the car with my husband because we went together, and I was kind of like teaching him what brands to look out for. I was just kind of looking through what had sold recently on Poshmark. I was searching in that $50 to $100 range. And so I was letting him know what brands to look out for. And something that's been on my bucket list of things things that I want to find include like old school vintage Coogi sweaters, like the, ones with like the crazy patterns. And so I was telling him to be on the lookout for those, and we didn't find anything, but I did tell Hope when I got to the bins, and we also met up with the bin pickers who are also super fun. I'll link their channel down below as well. But I was telling Hope that I was hoping to find some Coogi sweaters, and she found this pair of jeans, and she was like, well, this isn't a sweater, but it's a pair of jeans, so you can have this. And I thought that was so sweet of her to give those to me, and Hope they did finally sell. It just took forever. But when they did finally sell, it made me smile because it made me think of Hope and just that really fun trip of being able to see her and G and Michelle. So I hope all of you are doing wonderful. And like I said, if you haven't already subscribed to their channels, please make sure that you do because they are awesome. The next thing to sell was by the brand Vintage by Jeffrey Campbell, and it was this pair of Aurora black velvet heels. They had like a big chunky heel as well as like an ankle strap. They sold for $35. I believe I had them listed at $50, and what happened was someone offered me $25. I asked them if they would meet me in the middle in the bundle feature, and so they agreed, and I was able to get $28 out of those. Those took 52 days to sell, and I got them at the consignment store for less than $2, so that was really cool. The next thing to sell was this vintage J. Crew denim embroidered dress in a size 8. This was so cute. It really reminded me of the 90s. Like I could imagine someone putting like a white short sleeve shirt underneath it or like a little turtleneck. It was just really cute. You could tell it was vintage because of the J. Crew tag. It was like one of their older tags from the 90s or 2000s. I got an offer on this for $25, which I accepted, and so I made $20 on that. And that I picked up pretty recently at one of the local consignment stores in my area. And I probably paid like $3 to $5 for it, so that was a really good flip. The next thing to sell was this FootJoy Pro Dry Lisle pink striped golf polo shirt in a size large. This sold for $28. I did use offers to likers, so I had to pay for discounted shipping, so I made $20.28 of profit. I did pick that up at a Salvation Army that's about an hour away. I spent 5.5 hours there, and I paid $1 for each item. So I had $1 into this and made a profit of $20.28, which I think is pretty great. But it was listed for quite some time. I did have to relist it, and then even after being relisted, it was listed for a few months. So I did sit on it for a while. I'm a little surprised it sold now because I feel like, is golfing season over? I don't know. I guess you can golf any time of year if you live in a more like warm area, but like where I live, I don't think people can be golfing because it's pretty cold out. Okay, and then on eBay, I sold another pair of boots. It was a pair of Bear Traps leather Cabellina faux fur trim boots in a size 7M. These sold for $27. They paid for shipping. I made $24.36. I did have those listed for about a month, and they did come from the consignment store, so I had less than $2 into those. I keep saying this because it's been true in the last probably like 3 to 4 videos, but if you have boots and coats and sweaters and that kind of stuff that people want to wear when it's cold outside, that is what you should be prioritizing in terms of what you are listing, because that's what's selling. So, you're going to see a good number of boots, a good number of jackets, all that kind of stuff sell this week. You saw that kind of stuff sell in the last few What Sold videos as well, because that's what people are buying. Moving on to Thursday, which was December 3rd, I had one sale over on Poshmark. It was another pair of Star Wars Chewbacca Crocs with a faux fur lining. This pair was in a size 3. They took 21 days to sell. I got an offer of $11 on them, which is lower than I would have liked to go, but there were a good number of flaws. For example, the faux fur lining was pretty matted, and then also like along the bottom of the shoe, there were like these little silver, like silver rectangles all throughout, and you could tell like a lot of those had been kind of worn off, and so there was a good amount of wear. I went ahead and let them go for $11. I did not want to find myself in a situation where like a year had passed and, I finally accepted like a $5 offer on these or something like that. I just wanted to go ahead and move them. And so I made $8.05, and I got that from the same friend who gave me the Forever 21, hoodie, and who gave me the Italian shoemaker shoes. I got them for free. So we're talking pure profit here, and pure profit from free items is amazing. The next thing to sell was over on eBay. I had 3 eBay sales. So, eBay up until this point was like kind of slow. I had like 2 sales out of the last 3 days, but Thursday and Friday, holy cow, eBay really woke up for me. So the first thing to sell was the North Face pink checkered reversible down jacket, and it was in a size extra, extra small for girls. So it was for like, ages 4 to 5. It sold for $45. My asking price was $50, so $45 was amazing. They paid for shipping. I made $40.57, and I got that for free. I got it from someone at church, a different friend. I have a lot of friends from church who give me stuff, but she gave it to me for my daughter to wear. I think my daughter was a little too big though by the time we got it. And my friend knows that I resell. She gives me stuff for my kids, but she's always like, if you don't like something or if it doesn't fit, just go ahead and you can resell it. You know, it's the same thing for her to give it to me than it is to like Goodwill or something like that. So she just gives it to me knowing that I'm gonna give some stuff that is too badly stained or just not in good enough condition to resell. I'm gonna give those things to Goodwill or, you know, other local thrift stores in my area, and the things that fit my kids, they'll wear. And that's usually what we do with the majority of her stuff anyways. My kids will wear it, but the things that I can resell that my kids won't wear, that's what I do with them. So that is $40.57 of pure profit. There were some flaws on this jacket too. In fact, it was pretty heavily stained. My husband washed it and he got most of the stains out, but there were still like a few, so I made sure to take pictures of those, and I made some really good money off of that coat. So list your coats, even if they're like your kids' coats and stuff. You could make $40 off of one of your kids' old coats. The next thing to sell was this Chico's mixed print long sleeve dress in a size 2. This actually didn't have the size tag, but I just went ahead and measured it, used the sizing guides that are online. It sold for $29.90, which is the offer that I sent out to watchers. I believe it was listed for $35. I paid for shipping, which was $4.33. I'm trying out free shipping on some things and seeing if it makes a difference. As I kind of gather more information regarding my investigation, I will let you know, but you'll see a few things that sold this week on eBay for free shipping. And so I made a profit of $22.58. I picked that up at the consignment store for less than $1. I picked it up with the intention of sending it into thredUP, but then I realized that it didn't have a size tag, and you can't send stuff into thredUP if it doesn't have a size on it. They just won't accept it. So I went ahead and listed it myself. It literally sold the day after I listed it. So that was pretty cool. Chico's can sell. The next thing to sell on eBay was a full price sale, and it was this pair of American Eagle slim bootcut jeans in a size 2 long. I got these at the consignment store as well. I don't generally pick up bootcut jeans, but because, you know, they were under $1, I was like, okay, yeah, I'll just get them. They sold for my full asking price of $24.99. They paid for shipping. I made $21.70. And I think those were probably listed for like 2 to 3 weeks. Moving on to my best day ever, and I did talk about it on my Instagram. If you're not following me on Instagram, my handle is Becky Park on Poshmark. I would love it if we could be friends over there, and I give you more of like a behind the scenes sneak peek of what's going on, not just in my reselling journey, but also in my life with like my kids and stuff. If you care about that, I've been like singing Christmas carols too, and like doing just some fun stuff over there. But anyway, I had a great day on Friday the 4th. It was an amazing day. So let's talk about what sold. The first thing was this new with tags Forever 21 sequined jacket for men. So it was Forever 21 men, and it said sorry not sorry on the back. This took 16 days to sell. It was a size small. In the description, I actually put the name David Rose. He is a character from the show Schitt's Creek. It's like my favorite show, like my new favorite show. It just totally seemed like something that 1, he would wear, and 2, like something he would say, sorry not sorry. I don't know if he's ever really said that on the show.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But this whole jacket just had such a David Rose aesthetic to it, so that's why I put it in the description. But it sold for $30. That was with me sending out offers to likers, so I did pay for discounted shipping, and I made $21.88 off of that. That did come to me in my first ever men's thredUP rescue box, so I will link that video right here. I'll also link down below a playlist of all of my thredUP rescue box unboxings, just because a lot of these items actually sold in rescue boxes. For example, this next bundle that sold on Poshmark, all 3 items came from rescue boxes from thredUP, and this bundle was amazing. Like, I remember it coming in that night after I had already made some other really great sales, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is an amazing day. So the first thing to sell in this bundle was this vintage Nautica leather bomber jacket in a size 46. This took 46 days to sell, and I don't remember which of the 3 rescue boxes it came in, but it did come in one of those thredUP rescue boxes. The second item to sell was this Chaps yellow and gray color blocked jacket in a size extra large. This took 30 days to sell. And by the way, I did just have a ship with me video that I uploaded last Sunday, and in that video I showed how I shipped out a lot of these items. So if you are interested in learning how I ship, definitely check out that video, and I'll link that right here. The next thing to sell and the last thing to sell in this bundle was this Maximo Luciano black leather jacket in a size 2XL that had been listed for 16 days. I think that was probably in my last men's thredUP rescue box. He sent me an offer on all 3 jackets for $200, and that's after first he had bundled one of the jackets. I had sent him a really great offer. He declined, but he declined because he put another jacket in the bundle. I sent him another bundle offer. He declined, and that's because he wanted a third jacket, and that time he sent me an offer of $200. The bundle had been priced at $285, but I went ahead and accepted $200 because I think probably my cost of goods for each item was around like $5 to $6, maybe something like that, maybe even less. I don't know. I don't remember what my average cost of goods was for each of those items from those boxes, but I was like, to make $160 off of those 3 items, that was amazing. Now, if you watched that ship with me video, you saw that I did have to pay an additional $20 to ship this out because these were heavy jackets. They came out to 10 pounds for the bundle. And if you didn't know, on Poshmark, it is a flat $7.12 fee to get something shipped out if it's 5 pounds or under. But anything over than 5 pounds, you have to go into Poshmark and you have to upgrade your shipping label. Now, to be honest with you, I could have done this a number of ways. What I did was I went through Poshmark and I purchased a more expensive upgraded shipping label through them. What I could have done also is, if I wanted, I could have split the package up into 2 packages, had one package that was 5 pounds and shipped it out, normally, and then I could have purchased shipping through something like Pirate Ship for the remaining 5 pounds, and I could have sent the buyer a different box, and I could have paid for, shipping that 5 pounds through Pirate Ship. It would have probably been a lot less than the $20 I had to pay Poshmark, but there's a risk involved because now you're shipping that outside of Poshmark's, terms, and so if it gets lost or something, Poshmark is not going to back you up. They're going to be like, well, you should have purchased an upgraded shipping label through us. So I just went ahead and did it through Poshmark. I have done the Pirate Ship way in the past before when things have been over 5 pounds, and I would just reach out to the buyer and let them know. But with this, because of the dollar amount of the items, involved as well, I just went ahead and went through Poshmark. I know another thing that people will do is they will reach out to the buyer and let them know, hey, this is way over 5 pounds. Could we please split it up into 2 different bundles? And they kind of force the buyer to pay for shipping twice. Again, I didn't want to go down that route. I didn't want to run any risk of losing this sale, so I just went ahead and paid for the upgraded shipping on my own. And even though it did, eat into my profit a bit, I only ended up making $140 of profit versus $160. I was okay with that because of the fact that, the cost of goods on these items were pretty low. And to be honest with you, moving leather jackets for men, especially when they're like older, kind of more vintage styles, it's kind of hard, at least in my experience. Like usually I will sit on those items for a lot longer, and I was just really ecstatic at the idea of moving these pieces out faster than slower. And then the last thing to sell on Poshmark was this John Deere Farm Team gray sweatshirt in a size 4. So it's for like little kids. This took 34 days to sell. It sold for $13 with discounted shipping because I had sent out offers to likers. And so I made $7.93. That was something that I got at the consignment store for less than $1. So I was happy with that profit. And then over on eBay, I also had a great day, which is why this was such an amazing day. The first thing to sell was this pair of 7 for All Mankind maroon velvet skinny pants in a size 28. I have gotten a lot of offers on these, like really low offers. And I believe I had them listed for like $35, but I would get like $10 offers, $8 offers. And I think I did decline like one $8 offer because I was like,
what's wrong with you?
But usually I never decline. Like that's something that I talk about a lot on my channel. I always say, don't decline, just counter and see if you can at least turn it into a sale, with a price that both people are comfortable with. But here I got a really great offer of $24, so I definitely went ahead and accepted. It did sell via promoted listings, and so after they paid for shipping, I made $19.08 on that sale, and I was so happy about that. The next thing to sell was to a repeat buyer, to a viewer named Ricardo. You've heard me talk about Ricardo before, and Ricardo does this thing where he'll purchase something at full price, and then he'll always say, like, I hope this helps bring more sales to your eBay store today. And this day, it did, Ricardo. It worked. Thank you so much. I was so excited, first of all, just to hear from him again, but also because of the sales day that I had. And let's just say, Ricardo, it's all because of you. So thank you. He got this Blu-ray DVD of The Dark Knight. There were 2 discs, and then there was like a special features thing. I had it listed for $9.99 with free shipping. So that's what he paid, and I made $5.62 after I paid for shipping. He also reached out and was like, hey, is this like the US version or is it the French Canadian version? And I was like, oh, I think it's just US. But I guess what had happened was when I listed it, I just, found an existing listing of this item and then I did sell similar. Well, I guess what I had found was a French Canadian version. And so it was listed as being in French, which is obviously probably why it hadn't sold, because it had been listed for quite some time. So Ricardo asked me first, is this the US version or the French Canadian? I went and checked and it was indeed the US version. So he went ahead and purchased it. But if you're listing DVDs or really you're listing anything and you're doing it by sell similar on eBay, definitely make sure to just look over the listing and make sure that it truly is identical to what it is that you're selling. Otherwise, you might have incorrect information on your listing. So just double check, make sure, don't make the same mistake that I did. I don't do a lot of sell similar just because typically I will list everything to Poshmark first and then I will cross list to my other platforms using List Perfectly, which, to be honest with you, I will accredit my sales week to 2 people, Ricardo and List Perfectly, because so many of my sales came from eBay, and spoiler alert, eBay actually beat out Poshmark this week, and it's only because of List Perfectly. So for me, like I said, I will list everything to Poshmark and then push everything out to my other platforms using List Perfectly. And if you want to try List Perfectly out yourself, I do have a coupon code. It's just Becky Park, and if you use that, it allows you to save 30% off of your first month, risk-free, because if you don't love it, you can get your money back. But yeah, this one I just did sell similar because I didn't list it on Poshmark first, because Poshmark doesn't, you can't sell DVDs on Poshmark. So this was one of those few instances where I created a listing from scratch on eBay, and as you can tell, I'm not very good at it, which is why I had made that error of listing it as French Canadian. The next thing to sell was a great sale. It did come from a thredUP rescue box, and it was the North Face Summit Series Gore-Tex winter coat for men in a size medium. I had it listed for $150, or maybe it was like $140. I got an offer of $90, which I just went ahead and accepted because I had gotten some lowball offers on this as well. I believe I got a $20 offer on it and just some other ridiculous offers, but I thought $90 was more than reasonable. I went back and checked comps again just to kind of see if I was getting ripped off or if it was indeed, a good offer, and it was a good offer. So I went ahead and accepted it. They paid for shipping. It was promoted at 1%, and I made $81.13 off of that jacket, which was huge, amazing. I was so happy with that. And just to kind of put things in perspective too, the men's thredUP rescue boxes that are 25 pounds, they cost $90. So, this one sale alone basically paid for a box. Crazy, just crazy. Okay, the next thing to sell is something that I got at the consignment store for under $1. It was this Kate Spade purple Cobble Hill Minka pebbled leather fold-over purse. That's a lot. That's a mouthful. As you can tell, I like to try to use up every single character of the listing title just because that way you can get as many keywords in there and hopefully, more people can find your item that way. But this sold for $50. I had it listed for $100, but I was more than happy to let it go for $50 because, like I said, I paid less than $1 for it. And there were a couple flaws, like on the outside where it says Kate Spade, it was kind of faded just from, having been used a lot. And then the lining on the inside, there were a good number of stains and stuff like that. So letting this go for $50, I was more than happy with that. They paid for shipping. I actually put it in a regional A box because it fit perfectly in there. And if I had used a different box, it was going to cost me $15 to ship out because it was kind of heavy. So I put it in a regional A box. It cost $11.19 to ship out, which was a little bit more than the $10 that I had charged, and so I made $42.81 on that. The next thing to sell was this pair of MPG black layered exercise shorts in a size small. You saw me ship this out in that Ship With Me video as well that I uploaded on Sunday, and it sold for my full asking price of $14.99. They paid for shipping. I made $13.59, and I didn't have that listed for very long either, probably just a couple weeks. The next thing to sell was the best sale of the week. It was so exciting exciting. It did come from my most recent men's thredUP rescue box, and I will link that video right here. That was a live video, and actually last week I did 2 live videos instead of pre-recorded edited ones, and the reason for that was because I had a pretty bad injury on my hand from when I was baking on Thanksgiving. While the stitches are still in, my hand is, I'm able to use it normally now, and so I can do things like edit and stuff, whereas last week I really didn't know how I was going to do any editing on my computer, and so I did go live. It was so fun to interact with you guys. It's not something that I do very often, but I am looking to do it at least once a month because, like I said, it was just so fun getting to talk with you guys in real time, and yeah, it was amazing. So if you did join me for any of those, thank you so much. If you didn't, you can catch the replay. You can just kind of go back into the history of my videos. But I did unbox this live, and a few of you said in the comments that when you saw me pull it up, you like gasped, like you were like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe that this is in a rescue box from thredUP. And it was this Filson wool buffalo plaid barn jacket. I also put the word shacket in the title because if you don't know, shackets are all the rage right now, and people are seeking them out on all reselling platforms. It was in a men's extra large. I had it listed for $150. I listed it Thursday night. I woke up Friday morning with a $100 offer on eBay. I waited until the end of the day to accept the offer because I wanted to give people time to send in offers if they hadn't already, maybe even on other platforms. And while I did have like one other watcher on it on eBay, I just went ahead and accepted that $100 offer at the end of the night. I did put free shipping on there just because I knew it would probably sell at least for $100, and I was okay with eating the cost of shipping. I was able to get it into a padded flat rate envelope, so I made $82.09 off of that. Again, that thredUP rescue box cost $90. So that shacket alone basically paid for the cost of a men's thredUP rescue box. I love those men's thredUP rescue boxes. I have gotten some horrible like denim ones. I got a really great shoe one before, but I think those men's ones are my favorite. The next thing to sell on eBay was this pair of BKE Carter bootleg light wash jeans in a size 32 long. These were also men's pants, and these sold for $22. I got a lot of lowball offers on these too, but finally a really, great offer of $22. They sold via promoted listings. They paid for shipping. I made $18.71, and they had some wear on the hem. So you probably heard me talk about a decent number of stuff that sold this week that had some wear. I am okay with selling things with flaws, and in fact, sometimes they sell really quickly. So, definitely don't be scared to list things that are flawed. Just make sure that you take pictures of the flaws and that you note it in your description. And then the last thing that sold this day was a direct sale. Someone reached out to me on Instagram about a scarf, and it was this BDG, which is a Urban Outfitters brand, and it was an infinity scarf, gray and red colors. So I sold it to her for $12 ship. I paid $3.56 to ship it out to her, so I made $8.44 off of that, and that went to Alicia. So Alicia, thank you so much. I hope you love it. I think it will be really nice and like toasty for the winter. So I wrote about this on my Instagram as well. That Friday was such a great sales day. I think the best sales day I've ever had in my entire life. I had like a $500 sales day. And then the next day, which was Saturday the 5th, I had one sale and I made $10.68 off of this sale. And that I think like perfectly encapsulates what reselling is like. It's not predictable. It's very up and down. And so it's just one of those things, like I know a lot of people who do it full time. It is really stressful because you can't count on, okay, I'm gonna make this amount this month or this amount this week. You just never know. That's just something to kind of think about if you are thinking about reselling or reselling full time. I'm not full time, which, definitely puts my mind at ease because it's like I don't have to hit a certain number in order to pay off like my mortgage or to pay the bills and stuff like that. Like my husband and I were both teachers, and this is something that I do on the side, but I can only imagine how stressful it is, especially for full-time resellers who, that fluctuation of sales from day to day, it can just like really make your heart race, So the thing that sold was this lot of 2 Baby Gap tutu skirted leggings in a size 6 to 12 months. The lot sold for $16 with discounted shipping, and that's how I made my $10.68. I did pick those up at the local consignment store for under $1, and I had them listed for 15 days. I went ahead and lotted them because it made sense. They were in the same size, they were in the same style, and it would have been a pain to try to list those separately. And you probably noticed that in the cover photo of this particular listing, it's kind of like a grid, like there's 4 pictures in a collage style. And I did that too for that North Face jacket, the reversible one, because I wanted to show in the cover photo the fact that it was reversible and that there were 2 sides, and I wanted the buyer to be able to see what the 2 sides look like. And to make those collages, I used this free app on my phone called Instagram Layout. It's like through Instagram, but it's its own app, and it allows you to make things like collages and put 2 or 3 pictures into one nice little square. So that's what I used for that. So moving on to the last day of the week, which was Sunday, December 6th, I had a few sales on Poshmark thanks to my closet clear out method. The first one was this pair of pants by Polo by Ralph Lauren. They were a pair of little khakis with an adjustable waist in a size 2T. They were only listed a week, and I sold them for $12 using my closet clear out method, and so I made $9.05. I did get those at the consignment store for less than $1. The next thing to sell was this Loft black vegan leather shift dress in a size medium. I loved this dress. I'm actually trying to be a lot more picky about what kinds of Loft pieces I pick up, just because Loft, it does tend to sit because there's so much of it on all of the different reselling platforms. But this one was like a really plain black shift dress, but then the sleeves and I think like the panel up here and then like 2 large pockets on the front were all made out of this vegan leather, and it was just so like chic, and I don't know, it just looks so edgy and cool. So I definitely made sure to pick that up at a local consignment store not too long ago. Probably paid like $5 for it, but it sold for $25 using my closet clear out method, so I made $20 on that. And that was listed for 17 days. The next thing to sell I've had forever, and I did relist it, and even after being relisted it took 72 days to sell. But it was this Oshkosh Bagosh button-up cardigan in a size 8. It had like a Fair Isle print across the chest, and it was in my 4 for $25 sale, although someone just sent me a $9 offer on it, and I accepted that so fast, and I made $6.05. I've had this for a while. For sure someone gave it to me for free, and I think like I played around with the idea of having my daughter wear it, but she just is not into these like big bulky sweater type things, so she did not wear it, and I just went ahead and listed it. And then the last 4 sales came from eBay. So the first thing to sell was this pair of Easy Wear by Chico's tan pull-on elastic waist pants in a size 2, very similar to kind of like their Travelers line, just really easy. You pull them on, they're super comfortable, they're kind of wide leg, very slinky. They sold for $18 with free shipping, and I made $10.83 on those. There was kind of like a grease stain on the front of one of them too. I took pictures, disclosed it, but I was completely okay with moving them at that price because I paid less than $1 for them at the consignment store. The next thing to sell also came from the consignment store, and it was this Motherhood Maternity scoop neck sweater tunic in a size extra large. It was like really long so that it would cover the belly. It had the ruching on the side, and it was kind of like a snowflake looking print, so it was perfect for the winter, and it sold for $10. That was the offer sent to me. They paid for shipping, although I thought it was heavier than it actually was, so I had them pay to have it sent out in a padded flat rate envelope, but I was actually able to ship it out first class. So I ended up making $11.55. The next item also came from that consignment store. This consignment store haul, if you want to call it that, like I got over 1,000 pieces at that consignment store. And if you check out my playlist of thrift hauls, you can kind of go back and see, I think I did like 3 to 4 haul videos just from that consignment store because I had so much stuff, and that wasn't even all of the stuff from the consignment store. I didn't get a chance to haul all of it because it was just so much. But yeah, I mean, I'm still listing a lot of it. It's been months and I'm just getting around to listing it because, like I said, I got over 1,000 pieces. But the next item to sell was also from there. It was this pair of new with tags Real Tree Extra Scent Blocker Camo Hunting Pants in a size youth small. I think the retail price on them was like $50, something like that. But they sold for my full asking price of $24.99. It was via promoted listings at 1%. They paid for shipping, but again, I had them pay for padded flat rate, but I was able to send it out first class, so I ended up making $24.95 on those, and I had less than $1 into them. And those pants sold within the week of being listed, so that was awesome. The last thing to sell was something that my brother gave me, and they were riddled with flaws, but it was this pair of Abercrombie and and Fitch navy sweatpants in a size medium. There was like a hole in the back near the back pocket, but you could tell my brother had stitched them up, and he did a pretty good job, but like you could tell that he had to do that. And then there was another hole on the back bottom of the pants, and that one he didn't even bother to stitch up. So I took pictures of both, I disclosed both, I listed it for what I thought was pretty low because of those flaws. I listed it for $14.99. They sold for my full asking price of $14.99. They paid for shipping. It was promoted at 1%, and so I made $12.47 off of a pair of sweatpants with 2 holes in them. So again, if you have flawed items, go ahead and list them. If you have people in your life who are trying to get rid of clothes, tell them that you want them and tell them why. And I have so much inventory because of that, just because I tell people what I do, and it's like they're either going to give it to Goodwill or to me, and because they like me, they go ahead and give it to me, and I make a good amount of money off of stuff that I get for free. Let's go over my numbers. On Poshmark, I sold 15 items for a profit of $336.42. And all of the numbers that I'm sharing with you right now are my net sales. They're not my gross sales, which doesn't account for like any of the shipping discounts or shipping fees or platform fees, but I've already taken out all of those amounts, and so this is what's going into my bank account. So $336.42 from Poshmark. On eBay, I sold 16 items, which is one more than Poshmark, and I made a total of $448.96 on eBay. In my last live that I did, someone was asking me, what platform do you make the most money on? And typically it really is Poshmark, but this week, like I said, eBay just really stepped up. And the current week that we're in right now, it seems like eBay is going to do the same, because I have made so many sales on eBay just today alone. I'm filming this on Monday, and eBay has just been phenomenal. So I'm really excited about how well eBay is doing for me, and it's only because I keep listing consistently over there. I try to get like 10 listings up a day at least over on eBay, and last week I was able to get even a day or two with like 20 listings. So when you're able to list consistently, eBay definitely reciprocates with some great sales. And then over on Mercari, it was so sad, so pitiful. I had the 2 sales for a total of $9.52. I had 1 direct sale for a profit of $8.44. On thredUP, I sold that 1 pair of shoes for a payout of $3.52. And so total, I sold 35 items for a total of $806.86 of profit. I barely hit that $800 goal, but I did it. I was so excited, and December really so far has been going super great. So to break down even further like what sold, I sold 15 women's pieces, 9 kids pieces, 10 men's pieces, and 1 hard good. As you could tell from my sales, I sell everything. I mean, I'll do kids stuff, I'll do men's stuff, I'll do women's stuff. I sell everything because I get everything. I get a lot of stuff for free, and then I also was able to find a lot of great stuff at that consignment store, and they sell everything: men's, women's, children's, all that kind of stuff. I think having a diversity of the types of things that I sell has really helped me as well. And then finally, I love to tell you about how I've been doing from that consignment store. I have now sold 368 items from that consignment store for a total of $6,088.44. That doesn't include the amount that I've made from thredUP off of the items from the consignment store. And to be honest with you, a lot of the items that I got with the intention of sending into thredUP. And a lot of those items are at thredUP right now as we speak, or have sold on thredUP. So, I've sold myself through my various reselling platforms 368 items for a total of $6,088.44 of profit, but really I've made more profit than that because of what has been selling over on thredUP. So it really was such a wonderful experience. Once I kind of really get rid of a lot of the stuff that I have in my house, because I still have a lot of clothes and it's like taking over all rooms in our house. Once it gets to a more manageable place, I will probably reach out to them about trying to do another big bulk purchase like that. And I'm just really excited to have that contact in my life that I can reach out to when I am in the mood to get hundreds and hundreds of pieces at a time. So if you enjoyed this video, if you learned anything, please hit that like button. Go ahead and share this video with your friends as well on your various social media platforms. Make sure you're subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you. Bye.